What's up, guys? Tristan with Team Red Yugioh, and we're going to be giving you a GOAT Control versus BeastDown duel video. This was between me and David. We actually played 5 games, but we're only going to show you 3 games. So we cut out games 1 and 2. So he starts off, he sets 2, he drop dust shoots me, sending 1 back into the deck. But yeah, we're only going to show 3 of the games because otherwise 5 was going to be too long. But yeah, so I go Pot of Greed. He does another Trap Dust Shoot. This is a really good play by him. So I have no monsters in hand, as you can see. The Dust Tornado, Heavy Storm, Sakuretsu, Metamorphosis. Like, yeah, it's rough. So I set 2 and pass. Now it's David's turn. Normal's Breaker. Uses Breaker's effect, hitting the Sakuretsu. So that was a good hit by him. I take 16. I Dust Tornado his set, which was a Nobleman. I then normal Tribe and destroy his Breaker, and I attack for 16. He then summons Assailants and attacks over it for 100. It passes turn to me. Then I'm thinking here, and I pass. Had nothing to do. He then attacks for 17. Sets 1 and passes. I Graceful Charity. Let's see what I discard. I discard the Exarion. And I discard 2 Xerions here, and he had the other Trap Dust Shoot. This really hurt because he shuffled my Tsukiyomi back into my deck, so I literally had no monsters. This was a really big issue for me. I have the Premature, but it's just not value, but I end up using it because there's nothing really I could do at this moment, which was kind of sad. So I pay 8, summon Xerion, so I'm bigger than him. I don't attack because DD Assailant banishes your monster. He then normals Xerion. That is that is an Xerion. He just doesn't have any right now. I set 1 and pass. Now at his turn, he Graceful Charities this time. And he discards Exiled Force and a Sangan. He then Mystical Space Typhoons my Scapegoat. Love Scapegoat. So then he attacks 2 tokens, so I have 2 left, and he passes to me. I then Metamorphosis, summoning my Thousand Eyes Restrict, stealing his DD Assailant, and I Tribute for Jinzo. I then attack over. Jinzo's really strong in this format because only way to really get over it usually is traps, and so it's one of the best boss monsters. He sets 1 and passes. Now it's my turn. I normal Breaker, and I attack his Serpent, and then I attack for 24. Breaker's at 19. I did not use his effect. He then Premature Burials for Berserk Gorilla, and then summons Bazoo. So now Bazoo's going to banish 3, bumping up to 2,500, beating over my Jinzo, and then beating over my Breaker for 200 life points. So I then Heavy Storm. And right here, he's just wondering what the Call of the Haunted ruling was. I'm pretty sure it was that you couldn't use it to like summon something back because he was going to summon a Sangan. And then we're looking at each other's graveyards. So right now, I believe I'm at 1,900 life points, and he's still up there a bunch. So then he sets 1 and passes. He does not attack my token or into my back row. I then pass turn. He summons the Enraged Battle Ox, and Rage does piercing, so I decide to chain to summon my Restrict, and now no one can attack except for Restrict. So now I believe he passes to my turn. So then I steal that, and I attack into the Bazoo, because Bazoo is at 16 again. He Sakuretsu's it, so I set 2 and pass. He attacks a token, and let's see if I do anything. I Book of Moon it. He sets 1 and passes. So then it's my turn. I set 1 and I pass over. He flip summons. And then I believe he uses Bazoo again. Oh, he's in a Rota. He's in a Rota search. Search for DD Assailant. Then I Mirror Forced. Then I pass. Now it's his turn. He uses Sinister Serpent to beat my token. So now it's my turn. I MST his Book of Moon. And then I set a monster and pass. He then summons Abyss Soldier, and I Torrential Tribute. And that was a Sinister Serpent I had set. And then now my turn. I Metamorphosis for 1,000 as restrict. I think this was a misplay. I should have just waited for that, but I felt like just not letting him be able to attack me was pretty good. So then now we're just setting cards, gaining advantage. And passes to me. I set a monster. Now he draws into Pot of Greed. Amazing top deck. And then he Nobleman's my Magician of Faith, which was huge. I could have gotten many things. Pot of Greed, Heavy Storm, Graceful, all these things back. So then he goes for Berserk Gorilla to bait me out, which at this point I'm figuring I might as well just take the back row now to get rid of it. So I do that, and then I pass turn. He sets another, passes. I set a monster and pass. He delinquent duos me, which was huge. So I ditched the Sinister and I ditched a spell. I think it was a Metamorphosis, but I can't tell. Sorry about that. I flip from Magical Merchant, adding the Ring of Destruction to my hand, and then tributing for Air Knight Parshath. So then, alright, so this is where I mess up. Ring of Destruction, I was going to do that, but it would have killed me too. He's at 1,800, I'm at 1,900. So that was really unfortunate for me. So that really flipped the game. He Heavy Storms, and I chain Scapegoat. And then Snatch Steals for game, because Air Knight does piercing. And that's game. So now I move into game 2. I'm going to start things off. I set a monster, set a spell trap, and pass. He starts off with Graceful Charity. He ditches Sinister Serpent and a Rhoda. And he sets a monster and sets a back row and passes. And then I do Dust Tornado, which was really good, hitting the Trap Dust Shoot. I then Nobleman. I then flip Magical Merchant, add a Call the Haunted. Then I Tribute Summon for Air Knight. And then I go Battle Phase, attack for 19, and draw a card and pass turn by setting 2. He adds Sinister Serpent back to hand. He then normals Berserk, and then on summon, or yeah, I just go Ring of Destruction. So he's already down a bunch of life points. The MST is other back row. And then I kind of go in right here. So I go Sangan Metamorphosis. So I make a Flame Ghost. So now Sangan's effect activates, letting me search. And then I search a Tsukiyomi just because it outs most of his deck. And then, yep, I go Call the Haunted here, summoning Sangan. So with those 3 attacks, I'm literally 200 life points short. So that was kind of sad, but it is what it is. Then I Delinquent Duo him, snatching 2 cards out of his hand. I hit the Breaker, and then I believe he just ditches a Serpent, and now it passes to his turn. And although he summons a Bazoo to out me, he outs my Air Knight, but I believe I have the out on this next turn. So it's my turn. Yep, I Tsukiyomi, and then I attack for game. It was a Rhoda set. So now we're off to game 3, which was actually game 5 of our 5-game match. This game is insane. It's going to be a fun one to watch. So he starts off, I believe, summons a Berserk, and passes. I set 2 and pass. He Pot of Greeds. And then summons Abyss Soldier. Uses effect to bounce my back row. I then chain Scapegoat. And then he's going to ring. I'm going to Ring of Destruction and Berserk. So we're both at 6,000. And then he'll attack a token. So now it passes to me. I'm going to Graceful Charity. Let's see what I discard. Sinister Serpent. And Air Knight Parshath. So a cool combo with Abyss Soldier is whenever you can discard a water monster to bounce a card on the field. And so he Sakurats gets my 1,000 eyes. Then passes. But yeah, so you can do a loop if you get Premature Burial with Abyss Soldier. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure he does it to me eventually this game. So he summons an Xerion, and I Sakuretsu it. Yeah, that's one that passes. I flip Magical Merchant, adding a Scapegoat to my hand. And then I attack for 200. That Magical Merchant beatdown. I set one to pass. He then goes for his turn. He premature, so now he has the combo. So he bounces premature back to his hand. And then he normals the Berserk Gorilla. So he attempts to beat over the Magical Merchant. And I'm contemplating whether to use my back row or not. I Book a Moon the Berserk. Then I let the Abyss Soldier attack. At this point, I was just trying to take as least damage as possible. I figured that was the best avenue to go. So now it goes over to my turn. Checking my graveyard. So I set another monster and pass. Then set a back row, it looks like. He uses the effect of Abyss Soldier to bounce. Flip summons and the normal Sangan. And then he Rotas, adding a DD Assailant. Now he's checking my graveyard, I believe. So then he Berserks, or he Sangans attack a token, Abyss Soldier attack a token, and then he's just figuring out which one he wants to attack with Berserk. He was really scared of the Morphing Jar right here, so he sets his back row and he doesn't attack. So it goes to my turn. I use Magician of Faith. I add the Graceful Charity back because I want to dig deeper into my deck. So I draw 3, discarding a Serpent and a Tsukiyomi. Let's see what I do here. Thinking, because this is a pretty big field I'm going up against. So I'm Premature Burial, paying 800. Summoning the Thousand Eyes Restrict. And then I seal Berserk Gorilla. I think this was another misplay. I just end up deciding to do that. I should have just stolen the Abyss Soldier, and then I could have just done Beast or whatever to kill the Berserk Gorilla. So that was a misplay, I think, now looking back at this. So he Mirror Forces me, so that was another thing going against me. So then I set 2, I still have the monster set. He activates Premature Burial, reviving his combo. He bounces my back row, I chain, which is Scapegoat. Then attacks, and I kill the Abyss Soldier, getting rid of the premature combo. Then Metamorphosis for my last Thousand Eyes Restrict, stealing Assailant, and attacking into the Sangan. He Book of Moons. He just had all the outs for my Restricts, which was pretty sad. He attacks the Restrict, sets 1 and passes. I add Sinister back to hand. I set another monster and pass. He sets another and attacks my Magical Merchant, adding Heavy Storm. So this is where he kills me. He Delinquent Duels me, and I have 2 cards in hand. It was a Heavy Storm and a Snatch Steal. This is where I lost the game, because then I was just top decking at this point. It just really, really hurt. I set 1 and pass. So then he attacks my other face down, which I couldn't tell what it is. Sorry about the bad camera angle. I think it was just the Sinister Serpent. So I Book him with the Sangan, and I Nobleman it, so he can't search. And then I believe I just set the Sinister Serpent again. He discards 2 Dust Shoot, I believe. And he normals the Breaker, attacks the token. And I summon the Serpent, go for my last Restrict, stealing that. And then I let him go. And he summons Tribe, and that's the game right there. So if you want to see more GOAT content or any more Yu-Gi-Oh content in general, definitely leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.